Hey guys, Joe the Tech Guy back here for another episode. Something special here this week. First off, if I still sound and look a little strange, I'm still feeling a little under the weather. But you know what? Nothing to raise the spirits. I come in on and recording a little tech review here for you guys. And this week I am talking about one of my current favorite things to use it right now, especially since I've been at home for a little bit with not a whole lot to do other than trying to recover and trying to get better, and that's listening to music on, in my opinion, probably the best speaker I've ever used. We are talking about the second generation Homepod. This thing is damned impressive. It's the type of thing where it's hard to do it justice on the videos. I can't play any of the audio, otherwise we'll get another copyright issue here with YouTube. But needless to say, it's the type of thing that you have to hear in person to really fully appreciate, especially if you're a fan of music and if you stream your music through, whether it be Apple Music, whether it be Spotify, whether it be YouTube Music, any of that kind of stuff can be done on here. First of all, just overall, before I get into kind of specifics, because I want to break down some of the specifics for you guys, because it's quite impressive. It is, for a relatively small speaker, it's got a lot of weight to it. It's a little over 5 pounds. For this class and this size of speaker, it is quite heavy. Not really a big issue, because once you place it somewhere, you're not going to be moving it around. It's not really meant to be a portable speaker. It is meant to be placed on your home, whether it be on a bookcase, whether it be on a shelf somewhere, and then to be left and to just be used. One really nice addition that they made with the second generation is that you can actually disconnect the power cord. So let's say if something were to happen, if it were to get frayed or damaged, you can actually go out and buy a separate cord and replace it without having to tear down the device, which is, I give props to Apple for that. The other major improvement is the touchscreen on the top is now the whole screen lights up and is a touchscreen, as opposed to just the little circle in the middle. The entire top is now a fully usable touchscreen. So some really, really cool stuff here. Now, to go through more of the specifics here with you guys, because there's some cool stuff going on here. First off, you can get this in black or white. So whatever the kind of decor is of your home, that's probably what's going to dictate your decision there. Since a lot of the furniture and stuff in our house here is darker in color, we decided to go with the black. It fits quite nicely, but if you have a lot of lighter colored furniture or walls and that kind of stuff, white might be something more up your alley, so you have that flexibility for that. Like I said, weight-wise, just a little over 5 pounds. Like I said, for this class and this type of speaker, it is rather heavy, but you're not going to be really moving around that much once you set it up here. Capable of spatial audio, which is really, really cool if you have a streaming service that's capable of doing that, and especially with some content. It's still not a ton of spatial audio content out there, but the stuff that is available on there, whether it be on Apple Music, Spotify, and all that kind of stuff, sounds really, really good on this. There are 4 microphones, 4 far field, what they're calling microphones in this, to be able to pick up Siri commands. Siri's gotten a lot better, especially since the first iteration of the HomePod. You can set these up as a stereo pair if you wish, which is kind of crazy. If you have a full-on Apple TV kind of setup, you can actually have 2 of these set up together as a stereo pair. One of these by itself already sounds pretty incredible, so I'm imagining that a stereo pair would be pretty insane. Multiple room AirPlay, so that basically means any device that's on the network can connect to this and make use of it. Audio sources that you can use. Apple Music, of course, still probably the best way to take full advantage of this device is to have an Apple Music subscription. You can, any songs that you've purchased through iTunes, you can stream on this as well. Third party. So a lot of people are under the impression that the Apple HomePod cannot be used with third-party streaming devices. That is definitely not the case. If you have Spotify, YouTube Music, and that kind of stuff, you can definitely still make use of this. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Radio stations. Another thing, too. All you have to do is say the name of the radio station. It's going to pick it up through whether it be TuneIn, whether it be iHeartRadio, any of those kind of services. It'll just start playing it. You can say, "Hey, Siri, may have set off some of your devices." Yeah, I even set off my phone doing that. You can say to play news, podcasts, ambient. You can even tell it to play ambient sounds, all that kind of stuff. Very, very, very cool. Touch controls, like I had mentioned, the whole top of the device is the touchscreen. So, playing, pausing, skipping, invoking the voice assistant, volume up and down, of course. Now, the one thing that's really cool with the speaker as well is it adapts to the size and the shape of the room that it's in. And let's say, for example, if you have it up kind of up against a wall, which I think a lot of people kind of will, it's not going to output a bunch of the sound to the rear of the speaker. It's going to focus more of the sound kind of going out that way. So it's a very, very intelligent speaker, and it adjusts accordingly to the space in the room that it's in. And, of course, the two other big things that I want to mention, actually, there's a few other things I want to make mention of. The intercom feature is a really, really cool thing, whether you have regular HomePods or HomePod minis, whichever ones that you have on your network, whether you're at home or whether you're on your way home through HomeKit, Apple's smart home application. You can say, hey, you're on the way to work. Hey, I'm on my way home. Start making dinner. Or if you have children, let them know that you're on the way home. Or any of that kind of stuff. That intercom feature is a really, really cool thing, especially if you have multiple ones throughout the home. Say if you're downstairs and you want to send a quick voice message to somebody upstairs, it's just a matter of making that happen. Very, very cool. Of course, latest Wi-Fi 802.11n. Bluetooth 5.0, which is really, really cool, so you can have multiple devices paired to this at the same time. The ultra wideband, which enables another really, really cool feature, and that's handoff, a feature that I make use a lot of because I listen to music so much on the go that, say I'm listening to, I'll grab my iPhone for this, say I'm listening to music on the way home, and I get home, and I want to just continue listening to what I'm listening to on my HomePod. All you have to do is bring the phone near the HomePod, and it will immediately, without you doing anything else, transfer the music and start playing it on this, and then vice versa. Let's say you're listening to music on this, and then you go to leave, you just bring the iPhone near it again, and it'll transfer back over to the iPhone. Again, the seamless integration with Apple devices makes doing that kind of stuff really, really cool, and just seamless. It makes listening to music however you want just super, super simple. It's really ultra wideband. Chip in this, and your phone really, really comes in handy with that. Now, the other thing as well to kind of make mention of, compatibility-wise, if you're hooking up devices, especially we're talking iPhones and iPad minis, support going quite a ways back. If you have an iPhone as old as iPhone 8 or even a second generation iPhone SE compatible with this, and basically every iPad going back to like the 5th generation, which is pretty insane. Apple's supporting this a good ways back. So even if you have an older device, it is likely going to work very seamlessly with this. So yeah, guys, especially if you're in that Apple ecosystem and you're looking for a really kick-ass speaker, it is really, really hard to go wrong with even just one of these. But it's the type of thing too, especially if you have a larger home, if you get one of these, you are likely going to even want to spoil yourself even further and place multiple of them throughout the home. For us here, I think probably one is going to probably suffice. Maybe one more in the near future sometime. But for now, the one in the home, it is such a cool, very useful device with all the features like I mentioned, especially the handoff when you're kind of coming and going, and if you're listening to music, if you want to continue listening on the go or at home, it just works. It just works. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. HTM Tech is brought to you by Microplay, located at 265 King George Road in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, for all of your video game and collectible needs.